The Visa Bulletin in March has the EB2 category current for filing. So that's great news. And that means too that we received a lot of questions and calls from many of you. And we decided just to do a quick video, maybe not so quick, but a video explaining a few things about the Visa Bulletin, talking about strategies for filing adjustment of status, or what happens if your case is still pending. Should we do an upgrade to premium processing? Those are all valid and good questions that we received, and I'll try to cover some of them here in this video. So let's first talk about the Visa Bulletin, understand what happens, what makes this Visa Bulletin jump from, being behind to being current. What does it mean? The Visa Bulletin is published by the Department of State every month, around the 15th or 16th of every month, in the middle of the month, towards the end. They publish the availability of visas for the following month. So it's always month by month, and there's no way we can know what's going to happen in April or May, June. We don't know. We know month by month after they publish it. It is a predictive instrument, so it's not based on certain numbers, but rather a calculation, an estimation the Department of State does in order to ensure that we're going to have visas available throughout the fiscal year and not use up all the visas in that category as soon as the fiscal year starts, and that there's no visas for everyone else towards the end of the year. So that's what they do. They kind of try to see a lot of information, for example, how many people are filing cases, what is the trend of denials, what's happening at the consulates, and taking all those things and many others in consideration, they try to decide, where to place the dates for filing and the final election dates, which are the two tables in the Visa Bulletin, to control the usage of those visas and spread them out throughout the year. There are around 40,000 available for the EB2 category, and they have to kind of be used throughout the year and not just in the beginning of the year. So that's what it means. And the Department of State probably figure out that there's some, there's not a lot of usage, maybe because lots of denials, maybe because of the travel ban. We will never know. They don't tell us how they calculate it. But it is available for filing. So what does it mean, the date for filing and final action? So when you look at the Visa Bulletin, which is available on the Department of State website, if you type Visa Bulletin, you can pull it up and you can see it. For March, there are two tables. There is the final action, how do I put it here? Here, final action date. And you can see it's right there in October 15, 2024. That means that the cases, the EB2 cases that were filed on or before that date are receiving their green cards if they're approved. So that's number one. It has to be approved. The dates for filing, hold on here, are current. You see that little C means current. They're current for filing. And that means that if you are in the US, you can file for adjustment of status. And if you are abroad, your consular process will start if your case is approved. So your case has to be approved before the consular process starts. So let's talk a little bit about when you're here in the US. If you are in the US and your case is approved, what I mean case is your I-140, your EB2 National Interest Waiver EB2 is approved. That means that you can take advantage and file for your adjustment of status in March. And you have to have maintained and should maintain your lawful status throughout the process. Do not abandon it. We can talk about it later, but it's safer in this climate to maintain lawful status throughout when your adjustment of status is pending. If your case is not yet approved, you technically could file for your adjustment, but I don't think it's prudent. The EB2 National Interest Waiver is a very discretionary visa, and there are chances that the case could be denied. So I think filing adjustment of status, yes, you could have a work permit for a while, but what if your case is denied? It's going to create additional costs, and it's always better and safer to wait until it's approved. Some of you are asking about upgrading it to premium if you have your case pending and you're in the US. Is it worth it? Well, depends. Every time we upgrade the case, pretty much every time, I would say most of them, and we receive an RFE. So if you're ready to answer that RFE, you should you should consider that if you're ready to answer. What I mean ready to answer is ready to pay for additional services, ready to obtain additional evidence with a limited time frame. Because once the clock starts ticking, it starts ticking. That means that if you're going to go after updated business plan or updated letters or documentation about your proposed endeavor, that has to be done within a certain time limitation. It's important to be aware of that. Cases that are sent without premium, right now, they're also getting our fees. It's a trend across the EB2 category, unfortunately. But you might have more time to start gathering documents after, for now, especially if you have a business that's ongoing here and you're trying to get your things moving, and you're going to have more time to obtain that documentation. But those are strategic questions that are very worth considering. Am I ready to upgrade my case? And also, let's think about it. The upgrade it means 45 calendar days. 45 calendar days will be after March. It's going to be April. So we don't know how the April Visa Bulletin is going to be. So there is also a riskier thing that we don't know what's going to happen in April. If you are abroad, if you have a case that's pending, it's not going to impact you having the Visa Bulletin current, because this is applicable only to cases that are approved. And the same thing goes for you. If you want to upgrade to premium processing, you need to be ready to deal with a very possible RFE, request for additional evidence, because those are happening right now. And in addition, we talked about the 45 calendar days. It's going to be in April. So I am not sure if it's worth it for you to upgrade. It's a personal decision. It's a decision you have to make on your own. We advise it's better to wait. We know that upgrading will put you in a faster route for RFEs. But of course, it's a personal decision. If you have a very strong case, if you have abundant evidence ready to go, if we have an RFE, maybe it's strategic for you to upgrade. Regarding those who are abroad and have approved cases, that means that the Department of State, the National Visa Center, will begin your consular process. They're going to send you a welcome letter in March. If they don't let us know, we'll kind of nudge them so they can send you a welcome letter sometime in March. They'll then make it available for you to pay the fees, the consular fees, and we'll start working in your case. So that's going to be very exciting. We know there are visa pauses everywhere. They're here in the US for certain nationalities, abroad for certain nationalities, and those things all count. But we know that the processes are going, even here, but they are not issuing anything in the US if you're part of certain countries like Venezuela, and abroad as well if you're part of a national of certain countries. So those are individual things you need to check with your attorney if you're part of the banned or pause countries at the moment. But other than that, I think those strategies are important to be considered, in particular the upgrade to premium processing. And remember, if your case is pending and you are abroad, at this point, really the fact that it's current doesn't affect you as much. I think it's happy news. It means that immigration is kind of starting to see fewer cases, or they're approving them, I don't know, faster. We don't know what's happening, but at least it means that things are moving, and it's always great news. If you guys still have questions, of course, feel free to reach out to us, but I hope that this answers many of them.